So I was talking to some marketing guy the other day, and they were asking me a little bit about what's my taking in God and creation and things like that. So I think the way I was trying to explain to him was more like, think about this. The tone of my voice right now, right? What you're feeling inside, is it touching something inside of you? And he was like, yeah, well, we're talking, so yeah, feelings go back and forth, words have power. And I was, yes, exactly. The same way that we're connecting right now, it's into a frequency, right? Yeah, somehow, yeah. So when we're doing that, that's touching someone else next to you that's listening to the same thing, which is sending a signal back to the cosmos, right? So it's kind of like my understanding is not how I grew up, right? I grew up with the punishing God, with, if you don't do this, you're going to be punished. If you don't, with the fear concept, couldn't understand why he would see so many bad things happening, right? So many people going through suffering, good people dying. So I couldn't understand that concept of like, if he's watching everything, why is he not doing something about it? And then it came to me that maybe it's a frequency, maybe it's a power, maybe it's something that we can't really see, but we can feel it. And it speaks through us, it's inside of us. And I start developing that more and more. Because in my perspective is always, if God is all good, how come there's bad people getting away with a lot of bad things? And then it reassured my idea of maybe it's just an energy, right? Imagine like this all-powerful energy that if you tap in for good, you receive good. If you tap in for bad, you receive the bad. But it doesn't judge you. So you can use for good or bad. And I think that's why it kind of gives you the free will to choose what would you do with that energy? What would you do with that power? And kind of makes me more realizing into my self-belief. And it's not just how I grew up believing after I was born. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that even when I was inside my mother's womb, I was receiving those bad energies, those frequencies, right? She was suffering a little bit, going through anxiety. I was receiving that because I was inside of her, watching the world through her eyes, feeling what she was feeling. And that thought always get back to me time to time. That maybe we are being programmed to accept some sort of things, to chase those dopamine things that we believe that they're good for us, but they're actually not. And going back into this frequency part, right? When I wrote my book, The Celestial Architecture, it was a journey, right? Through my story into mythology. So it dives into the Mayans, the Incas, and they all have a common thing. They all worship Mother Earth. They all understand that Earth is conscious, is alive, that the universe responds to vibration. Which brought me back into the whole frequency thing, right? If God is that frequency, you tap in for love, you tap in for everything you want. When you dive back into the Egyptians' mythology, right? The pyramids, how they build it, the technology behind how they build it. Think about it. All the quartz, crystals, pressure, water, right? That's pretty much a energy field, self-sufficient energy field. And I believe it was